I've heard a lot of people say, avoid seed oils. Can you explain what that is?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a complex subject in a way, but it's very simple at the same time. So basically, just to start off history wise, back in like the 1940s, during the Industrial Revolution after World War II ended, we had this brilliant idea to start consuming something that was initially made for machinery. We would use corn, soy, canola, which is actually called rapeseed, funny enough. So that's a sign that you probably don't want to eat if it's called rapeseed. But anyways, we would use corn, soy, and all this stuff for industrial seed oils. It was industrially used. It was used for lubrication and machinery. Then this guy came up with this idea of like, hey, why don't we put this in our food? And so that's when we kind of shifted into more of this vegetable oil lifestyle. And now vegetables oils aren't innately bad. What's bad is the oxidation process through it. It's the GMO'd out nature of it. It's they're just so oxidized. And what that means is they basically increase free radicals in the body when you consume them, something you can't reverse, right? So these industrial seed oils began becoming very prominent in the industry. And then we started saying, oh, like the American Heart Disease Association or American Heart Association, all this stuff started saying like, this stuff's good for you. It's essential for your health. You need these polyunsaturated omega-6s to operate well. Omega-6s are essential, but not in the degree we are eating them now. Americans typically have a 20-to-1 ratio of omega-6 to 3. That is extremely inflammatory. Think of omega-6s as pro-inflammatory, so they increase inflammation, and omega-3s as anti-inflammatory. So we need a divine balance between the two. A 4-to-1 ratio of omega-6 to 3 is great. If you can get that kind of 4-to-1 ratio, that's awesome. And the thing is, we're just eating them in excess because they're in everything nowadays. You will see sunflower on every packaged food. You will see canola. You'll see not sunflower, safflower. You will see soybean, and like mayo and things. It's just such a problem because they're tasteless, they're odorless. You don't see them until you feel them. And then after a long period of time, your joints will start hurting. You'll get headaches. You'll start gaining weight and having metabolic disorder. You'll have insulin resistance. It's just like the imbalanced part of it. So if we start shifting our oils into more of these omega-3s from fatty cold water fish, sardines are my favorite. If we start eating more avocado that has monounsaturated fats, not as much polyunsaturated fats, more olive oil. If we start eating more ghee and healthy saturated fats, which has been totally shut down, saturated fats lately. Oh, yeah, you got a question.
What is ghee?
Yeah, ghee, Ghee. It's basically butter that is clarified. So it's just butter that has been heated up to a certain temperature, and then you basically strip away the milk solids. So it's more like pure butter in a sense. But it's ancient. It's ancient from like India.
Huh. Yeah, it's interesting. I heard someone say, yeah, if you're walking into a grocery store and you're thinking of picking up food that comes in a box or a bag, typically there's going to be some seed oils in there. Just check the back. And I was so astounded. Literally every box, this whole aisle, it seemed as if there was one of those 4 or 5 oils, seed oils that don't seem to be as healthy as avocado or olive and like those industrial seed oils. And it just kind of blew my mind. And I looked in my pantry and I was like, I have granola bars, Ritz crackers, all kind tortilla chips, whatever. Yeah. And I was just like, wow, this is interesting. Should I eat these anymore or not? And I don't know. Do you try to avoid them entirely, or are you just more intentional about, hey, maybe I'm trying to avoid,
Yeah, it's a good question. I'm at the point now where literally I have zero cravings for food. I say zero, but like I would say 1% of the time when I have cravings, I can easily satiate it from like a couple of dates, right? Or some kind of sweet little keto meal or something. Like I'm not going to have like I have a really good relationship with food right now. And that's why I help people with it, because I've gone through some crazy experiences with it where I would binge eat at night, living at my parents at the time. And I would have like kind of a bulimia thing for a while where I would just puke after eating so much food. Like, yeah, it was pretty rough. I would just gorge down a whole bag of like Ritz, like you're saying, like just a whole bag of it. And then I just feel so nauseous, and I debate on going upstairs where our bathroom was. And I was like, man, do I just puke or do I sleep this off? A lot of times I would sleep it off, wake up just totally like hungover from food. So I'm like totally open to sharing this stuff, because I think now I'm at the point now where I'm so comfortable with food, and I think it's okay to buy stuff like that, but just be careful, because I always have the perspective of the greater good and how we have this impact of, if we buy this and support this company, you're really just voting with your dollar to make more of that food. And that is destroying the planet, and that's destroying our health, right? So big names like Kraft, like Nestle, and all these other companies, unfortunately, they're the biggest contributors to plastic production, and they're the biggest contributors to destroying the nature, right? And so I strongly believe in sustainability and taking those eco-conscious steps. And I think that's the biggest thing that comes to mind beyond our own vessel. But we can't think about the planet and the greater good until we think about our own health first. So if people start working on getting healthy by trying to limit those foods as best you can, it'd be great. First steps is don't buy it, and it won't be in the house, and then you won't eat it. That's the best thing you can do. Or find replacements. It's not like it has to be super healthy. Eating healthy is not boring, right? It's just how you do it. It's not about restrictive eating. It's about just eating flexible and having fun with it.